Hello, my name is Visklugers, and today we will be talking about Evolve. The Evolve has been a bit shady, kinda. Its price mark is the usual for AAA games. At the launch, it's 50 euros or 60 US dollars, which is normal. Usually new games are that priced, but is it worth the price? Because it does have quite a little content for its price mark. It's kind of like a Battlefield, but it doesn't really have a progression system, and every single game mode or so is pretty much the same. There's small variations between them, but it's pretty much the same core mechanics, and then there are just small tweaks here and there. So there's very little variation. There's also some bugs in the game, but in comparison to a lot of recent games that has been out, they're very minor. There's some crosshair bugs, and you can have your mouse cursor pop in the game, but there's a very minor, and they'll be patched probably sooner or later. But I haven't heard any bigger bugs and game breaking bugs, so that's a really good thing about the game. What kills the game for me is that it's 4 versus 1, which is great, but the monster who is alone is so weak at the beginning that there's no reason whatsoever to go against the hunters at the beginning. There's no point. You literally have to just avoid, and avoid. Just try to beat up wildlife and get to stage 2 and finally to stage 3, when you can pretty much just ruffle stomp the hunters. And as a hunter, you just have to hunt and then be killed. It's kind of the thing of the game, but which makes it kind of strong, and it has tension on it. But it kinda is its downfall as well, because if you find it annoying after playing it let's say 20 times, and it's exactly the same thing every single time, I would get bored of it so fast. So I just know that I'm not gonna enjoy it. If I would get this game for free, yeah, I would play it, but paying 50 euros for it is just no. If I pick it up at like 20, I might consider it, but still, it's very repetitive game. And if there would be some kind of system behind it, that if you are like stage 1 monster, you would have some kind of buffs, or the hunters would have some kind of debuffs, or have some kind of sub-missions or something like that, to make even some effort to the monster. But really, if you're stage 1, you cannot fight you can't fight the hunters, and it's a bummer. There's just literally no chance, unless you're really skilled or really lucky. Second thing that is just a little bit concerning is the grinding and the level up system. The level up system the things you unlock are stuff that I think you should already have. It's like new classes, or actually not new classes, but in the classes there are several characters that you can play as, and you then unlock those, and they can play very differently. And it's a bit shame that you have to grind the game. You really have to grind it in order to unlock these characters and really get to the meat of the game. And by that I mean that, you know, if you have buddies, you can strategize before the game even launches, that okay, if I play as this character, you take that character, and you can kind of combo different skills. But in the beginning you're stuck with whatever you have as a default. So there's been a lot of talk about DLC in this game, and you know, in games in general these days, but day one DLC, it's kind of, if it's cosmetic, it's okay. I think I believe it's okay. You know, it doesn't harm anyone to have extra content that you can get if you really want it, but it won't change the gameplay experience. But when you have DLC worth of 81 euros or $86 on day one, it's a bit, well, I wouldn't say shady, but it feels so wrong. But yet again, they are purely cosmetic skins and stuff like that, but God, it just feels so wrong. And you know, they're very pricey. It's not like that there's like 86 different skins. No, they're like, was it like 16 or 12 different skins in the game, and it's just like, what the fuck? You know, they're goddamn expensive. You know, you don't need to buy them, but really? So you can buy on day one so many DLC that it exceeds by far the price of the original game, which is quite absurd. I can understand for like, let's say Borderlands 2 had a lot of DLC, but they were like, you know, bigger DLCs, so that it granted a lot more content. Of course there were a lot of cosmetic DLCs, but there were several like campaigns and story missions, and you won't get any of that in this in Evolve. So what kind of people do find enjoyment in Evolve? Because I'm sure a lot of people will like this game. It's a lot like Left 4 Dead. If you love Left 4 Dead series, you're gonna love this game as well, because you know, it doesn't have a story behind it, and it doesn't necessarily even need a story behind it to be a good game. Personally, I kinda like stories, or if it doesn't have a story, it should have, you know, a really good progression. Like for instance, World of Tanks has a really good progression, but it doesn't have a story whatsoever. And you have to be okay with a lot of grinding. But you know, it kind of comes, do you like grinding or don't you like? And yeah, I don't know, first person grinding games, I don't know, I really don't like a lot of them. Borderlands is okay, I like Borderlands, and it doesn't feel so grindy. The XP kind of comes as you play, but in this game it really is a lot of grinding. Another thing is that you really should have a group of friends who you can play this game with, so you can really coordinate what you want to do and what you need and what are your plans. If you're playing with random players, well, good luck. What I think about the price of the game is that it really depends on what you value on it. You know, if you really want to play it for shits and giggles, it's going to be quite expensive game for you to do that. But if you really know you're into this kind of game, yeah, well, 50 euros or 60 US dollars is, well, if you get the money to spend, go ahead and spend it. I would personally, even though I'm never gonna go buy this game, if I would know I would be okay and I wanna buy this, I would wait a couple of months, because it will be on sale. I guarantee it. Couple of months, 2-3 months, it will be on sale. Not a huge sale, but it will be on sale, probably on 40 euros, 35. And 4-5 months down the line, it's half price. It's gonna be half price. And then I think it's reasonable. Draw your own conclusions on, do you like the game or not? Should you buy it or not? If you love the Left 4 Dead series and, imbalance between teams, this game, it will be really good. And graphically it looks stunning. It's a really beautiful game. But if you're not into that kind of thing, don't bother. Don't even bother. Okay. So, thank you so much for watching. My name has been WhiskLurkers, and I hope I see you in the next video.